You're listening to Trax FM's podcast. If you've enjoyed our content, more podcasts are available on the RTM Click app and website. Let us know what you think. Please email us at traxfm.rtm@gmail.com. Like and follow us on social media at Trax FM Official.
Good morning, Malaysia. Otto here with you. Thank you very much to Albert, and make sure that you don't turn off the radio, because currently right now we have a very special interview in the studios right now, and it's a special link up as well with DJ Sonny B from Sabah VFM and also DJ Zach from Red FM for in conjunction with RTM's 77th anniversary, and we'll also be actually currently live on Facebook page. So head over there to TRAXXFM OFFICIAL. Wow. So let's check out if they are still online right now. So let's take a look at Sabah V. DJ Sonny B, are you there?
Hello, good morning.
There we go. I heard some music in the background over there, so finally we got you. Also, I'd just like to say hi also to our colleague from Red FM, DJ Zach. Are you online right now?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning, Zach. Good morning, Otto.
Happy 77th anniversary to you guys.
Yeah, you too.
Hey, happy birthday, RTM, yo.
Yeah, happy birthday to us.
Exactly. Yes. And to all our listeners over there currently listening. And today, we are also joined by our Minister of Communications and Digital, our Minister himself, YB Fahmi Fadzil, in the studios right now.
Good morning, YB. Good morning, YB.
Good morning, YB.
Good morning, guys.
And of course, it is an honor to have him in the studio again. And without further ado, we just want to ask, let me just start off with the first question over here is, YB, how far has RTM come since you've arrived here in RTM?
Well, I think we have seen how we are in quite an interesting time when you look at the media landscape, how things are changing so swiftly and so quickly. Just a few years ago, no one was talking about TikTok. Today, no one is not talking about TikTok.
Yeah.
So, with these kind of changes, inadvertently, traditional media, including radio, broadcast, will be facing a lot of challenges and pressures. So we have to make sure that we're fit for future. And I believe our new Director General, Encik Suhaimi Sulaiman, is more than capable of bringing RTM up to speed. We have a good shot at updating a lot of our what we serve to our listeners, in terms of programming, in terms of how the content that we want to provide, and I look forward to seeing RTM grow from strength to strength.
And for our other DJs over here, I'm sure you have a question, right?
Yeah, Zach, what about you?
Well, for me now, YB, I want to ask you, how has the response been from RTM staff?
Fantastic. A lot of the RTM staff are also my constituents, coincidentally. Because Angkasa Puri is in Lembah Pantai. So, coincidentally, so it's been good. I feel very at home here, not only because Angkasa Puri is in Lembah Pantai, but because my mom used to work here in 1987.
Wow.
Way back when. And things have changed so much. We've got a new building next door. Media City, so perhaps in the next few months we'll be moving in to that new building once all the paperwork's been done, and all certifications been received, and I think we will be seeing a lot more positive changes in the months and years ahead, inshallah.
DJ Sonny, do you have a question for our minister?
Yeah, I'll give Zach the benefit of the doubt first. Let Zach finish.
Okay, Zach?
Well, so far, I want to ask you, YB, you were officially announced as the Unity Government spokesperson in January 2023. Now, what was your reaction to that announcement?
I was surprised. I didn't know. It was something that came out of our ministerial retreat. And then we had a cabinet meeting. And the outcome of that was, I said, the Prime Minister said, Fahmi, okay, so I take the job, additional duties very seriously. It's a big responsibility, and you can't really afford to get things. You have to get things right. So it's a big responsibility. I think my hair probably in the next few months will get grayer. So Otto can, I think Otto, you've seen me a couple of times probably, and you've still got a healthy black.
These are just highlights. Actually.
Oh, highlights. I'll have to take a leaf from your.
No, I still prefer the white adornment that you are having right now. It's very nice. It's very posh.
It's a very cool hairstyle.
Great.
Thanks,
the color and all.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break right now, and we'll be right back with our special link-up and special interview for today's RTM 77th anniversary. Stay tuned. Taking you back in the day, this is, of course, a special link-up with our friends from Sabah VFM and also all our friends from Red FM as well. In the studios right now, we have a special guest. We have our minister, YB Fahmi Fazil, in the studios. We'll get to that in just a bit. I'd just like to say thank you very much for joining us. We are also live on our Facebook page. We'd just like to say hi to Azin Ali says, hi YB, on Facebook page. And so without further ado, YB, what's the fondest memory of RTM when growing up?
Coming to RTM. My mom used to work here, so it's something which brings back a lot of memories. I remember coming here as a kid. My mom was here in 1987 for a couple of years. So I was like 6, 7, 8 at that time, and I used to think like, wow, what is this place? It's like perched on a hill.
And now you're here.
And now I'm here. And it's a blessing. It's a responsibility. It's something which I take very seriously. And we'd like to kind of try to make things better. So that's my hope. In the time that I'm given, the responsibility that has been laid before me.
Now, GJ Sonny B, you have a question for our YB?
Yeah, YB, if you don't mind. Back in December, you urged RTM to look into and strengthen its content on traditional channels and online as the way the public consumes information changes. This move received a good response from various channels under RTM. When do you see RTM where do you see RTM when it comes to being trusted channel for disseminating information to the public in the future?
Yeah, I think the challenge is because in today's world, in terms of media, the number of channels has proliferated exponentially. So you no longer have one channel. You have so many different types of channels, and people are consuming media, consuming content on so many different platforms. It's like the name of that film, everywhere. Everywhere,
anywhere, anytime,
anywhere, anytime, all the time.
Starring Dato' Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah. So that's the way that we're consuming media has changed so much. Mm-hmm. So it's not about, I think, you can't put that genie back in the bottle. You can't put all of that back into the Pandora's box. Mm-hmm. Rather, I think we have to celebrate this difference and the multiplicity of channels that we have, and appreciate that each one draws a slightly different audience segment, to understand the potential of these channels and the audience segment that it reaches out to. Is our challenge, I feel, for RTM, for radio, because what's really interesting. There was a time when we used to have cassettes, and then or vinyl before that, cassettes, and then we had CDs.
Coming back.
And now, when I'm given a CD, I don't really know what to do with it, because So it's not about the form; it's about content, right? So if we make content that our audience is content with, I think that's the golden rule. That's the challenge. That, I think, is the goal.
Oh, that's very interesting over there. When it comes to content, it should be our main priority right now. So, DJ Zach, of course, what question do you have for our YB?
YB, let me ask you. The Prime Minister is well known for using words in Bahasa Malaysia that are unique and not well known in his speeches. Now, these hidden gems can inspire us to learn more about the beauty of our language. Now, what is your favorite word? Fill us in.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was browsing TikTok over the last couple of weeks, and what's very interesting is there's this trend using classical Malay words, and it's called poetic riz. So it's kind of like love poems, but in traditional classical Malay, and there's some beautiful words, Atma, of course Sanskrit, right? Atma, Jiwa, right? And then Bumantara, Jumantara, and a lot of these really, things that you never encountered before. So that's where I think, it's not a clash between old and new, but it's about opportunities presented by these platforms and knowing how to engage with your audience. So to me, these are some of my newfound favorite words. But what I really like is being surprised. That's why I like listening, for example, as an example, to Tracks FM. Sometimes when I turn it on in the car or at home, when I'm driving, I'm surprised by the songs that I hear, which sometimes you haven't heard in a long time, or you've never heard before, and the opportunities for what it gives you, the kind of feelings, right, and memories. Likewise, words matter. Words are supremely important, and the greater the vocabulary, the greater the opportunity to express ourselves. So, to all of you who you're following sometimes what our Prime Minister says, it's always a great opportunity to expand our kosakata, the wealth of our language, the breadth and depth. And this is a treasure. This is our living heritage, our language. So appreciate it.
Definitely. All right, if you've just tuned in right now, we're talking to YB Fahmi Fadzil. He's the Minister of Communications and Digital. Of course, we have our friends from Sabah VFM, which is DJ Sonny B, and also DJ Zach from Red FM. Yeah. So we are going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with the special interview in conjunction with RTM's 77th anniversary. Stay tuned. Roy Orbison with a song called Shahara Doroba, right here on Tracks FM's also morning show, but it's not, it's Saturday. But anyway, it's a special link up with our friends from Sabah VFM, DJ Sonny B, and also Zach from Red FM. And we are joined today in the studios with our the Minister of Communications and Digital, Fahmi Fadzil. And of course, we are actually live on our Facebook page. So hello, and head over there if you want to send a comment, say hi to our guest in the studio, as well as our DJs as well. Just head over there. I'm just going to read out a few right now which came online. We have Christina Chin says, a very good morning to you, YB, Fahmi Fadzil, Otto, Sonny B, and Zach. We have also Ronnie Seed says, good morning, Rose Teo, Raif Lee as well, and the list just goes on. Thank you so much for all the love and sharing and the comments that you gave. DJ Sonny B is also here right now, and also DJ Zach from Red FM. Thank you very much, guys, for being here as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
Celebrating RTM 77th anniversary. Now, without further ado, YB was reported as saying that the government, through the Ministry of Communications and Digital, is committed in continuously improving the quality of internet services and for the benefit of the people. Now, what kind of quality are we looking at, and what kind of benefits are we looking at as well?
Well, a lot of people want the internet to be cheaper, so that's one part of it. So on the 28th of February, we launched a package Perpaduan, a Unity package for mobile internet, prepaid, and that reduced the cost from 10 ringgit a month to 5, and this is applicable to the B40, to the Warga Mas. Yeah, so it's quite a broad spectrum of society. And then just a few days ago, on I think on the 30th of March, we launched the Unity package for fixed line broadband. Yeah, and this reduces the cost from 89 ringgit a month to 69 ringgit a month. So this is one aspect. Another one is, it's one thing to receive, like you buy a package that says, okay, 100 megabit per second, and then when you actually use it, it doesn't reach that. So it's no longer just about quality of service, it's quality of experience. And this is an important part of what we're trying to improve on. So I've told the Malaysian Multimedia Commission to take a look into this, and we need to resolve a number of things. But also, what's equally important is, when you go from point A to point B, like say you're going from one part of KL to another part, sometimes you experience drop calls. You're in the middle of a call, suddenly it just goes blank, right? You can't hear the person on the other side. There's some technical issues there which actually can be easily resolved. So what I've told MCMC as well is to engage with all of the telcos, and by June of this year, I'd like what we call network sharing problems to be resolved. So that means when you go from point A to point B, from June onwards, we'd like to see that being fewer and fewer problems, fewer issues related to drop calls and the quality of these calls. It'll take a little bit of time because all the telcos have to talk to each other and to have some kind of arrangement between them. But we are committed to solving some of these problems, because it's one thing to have internet, it's another thing to have good quality, reliable and fast internet, and cheap internet too.
Exactly. DJ Sonny B, do you have a question for our YB?
Yeah, YB, relating to the answer you gave just now, as Malaysia continues to grow as a regional digital hub and ultimately into maybe one day an Asian digital tiger, okay? So digital literacy is important. What is it? What are the benefits and how to improve it, as you say just now, especially more to awareness?
Yeah, absolutely. I like to use this analogy that having the internet is like having a highway, right? And you can go from point A to point B, but how do you get from point A to point B safely? That's the equivalent of digital literacy. So you want to make sure you don't crash into other people, you don't, careen off a cliff, or you as you're going, suddenly you're hijacked by somebody else. So digital literacy is about protecting yourself when you're online. It's about being aware of scammers. It's about knowing what to share. How do you assess what you're reading is real, is not something which is fake? How do you make sure that your data is protected? What should you share online? Should you be giving up your password? Should you be emailing yourself your password, for example? What is two-step verification or two-step authentication? So these aspects of security, safety is part of digital literacy. It's one thing to have access to internet, it's another thing to be able to use it safely.
Mm-hmm. DJ Zach, you have a question for our YB as well?
Yes, YB. Now, as we move further into the age of the internet, now changes are expected to upgrade and fine-tune information dissemination as well as how we operate our businesses. Now, how would you describe our current infrastructure compared to other countries?
Well, we're a lot better than a lot of other countries. If we were to look at, for example, everyone's talking about 5G now. The average 5G speed in Malaysia is much faster than some of our regional neighbors. But that's not enough, I feel. We have to make sure that it's affordable for ordinary Malaysians, for, I wouldn't even say the B40, I'd say the B60 or B70. So this is important, because it's one thing when we compare with others. And when you do compare, a lot of people complain that our internet is still more expensive compared to some of our neighbors. And this is something which I take very seriously. It's a running conversation. We have some ways that we can encourage, influence, apply, be firm with the telecommunication companies about their commitments to better quality, cheaper, more affordable internet and telecommunication services. But it's also about a public or customers who will express how they feel, whether they're satisfied or not about these services. So, many of us are not aware about whether it's there are different fora, there are different forums that you can go to. You have like the consumer forum, you have the content forum under MCMC, and these are ways that you can engage and share and express your concerns, your dissatisfaction with the level of service, for example, and that will help to drive change. And it's very important that we do get feedback and we implement changes for the industry.
Now, YB, with regards to advancements, right, in internet infrastructure, which sector will benefit the most, and what can we expect in the future?
Yeah, when you look at if we talk about digital economy, which is a very important part of our GDP now. In fact, by 2025, it's estimated that the contribution of digital economy to our GDP will surpass 25%. That means for every 1 ringgit contributed towards the gross domestic product, 25 cents will come from digital economy. So in that sense, it's really about enabling as many people to come on board. It's about how do we bridge this digital divide? Oftentimes, we think if we want to have good, fast, quality internet, you've got to be in KL, you've got to be in JB, in Penang, in Kuching, in KK. But what if we can have really good internet in our kampungs, in our kawasan pedalaman, in the interiors of, like in Baram, so that people can participate in digital economy without necessarily having to leave their hometowns. That is both a challenge and something which I feel is realizable within this lifetime. It's possible because of the technology that we have now. So the government, through MCMC, will be rolling out what we call broadband wireless access, which fits internet via satellite in remote areas like Pos Orang Asli and a couple of locations throughout the country. And through programs like Jendela and Point of Presence, Jendela is under MCMC, Point of Presence is under KKD, we are rolling out, whether it's towers, whether it's fiber optic cables, right up to almost the doorstep of whether it's schools or rural areas. And all of this will be part of what I believe will be an enabling ecosystem that will get more people on board and can participate in digital economy. This is important because I've been doing a little bit of a tour. I was in Johor previously, and then I was in Kedah just a few days ago. And we saw that we have these, what we call digital economy centers, Pusat Economy Digital. And they're in rural areas, and people who participate in these PEDIs, we call them PEDIs, we see from an entrepreneurial standpoint, their income can increase sometimes tenfold.
Wow.
So they don't even have to leave their kampung halaman, but they can participate in e-commerce. They can sell and buy products online. There was one lady in Alustar that I met. She doesn't have to come to KL. Once she got on board, and learned how to use TikTok Shop and Shopee to sell her items, she was earning something like 5,000 ringgit a month. And she told me, YB, I can buy a car now. So we can see the direct positive impact of digital economy on people's lives, and that's why that infrastructure portion is critical to realizing what I'd like to call a digital decade for Malaysia. A golden digital decade for Malaysia.
Okay, in line with all these developments and improvements and how it affects other people, development of information technology will, of course, bring about change in laws, existing laws. Will there be a really big jump in existing laws, and why?
Yeah, one of the biggest things that we need to look into is our Personal Data Protection Act. Not only because we haven't changed it in so many years since it was promulgated, since it was brought to Parliament a long time ago.
Exactly.
But things have changed so much. When it was put together, TikTok wasn't there, Facebook wasn't there. Like social media didn't exist at that time. At the same time, we're seeing a lot of investment coming into the country that will see the build-up of a lot of data centers. And these data centers, they're huge. They're processing a lot of data. So we've got to make sure that a lot of this infrastructure that is really investments coming to the country, they are protected, our personal data is protected, and we can continue to not only be a data processing hub for ASEAN, but we can also really leverage and really grow our talent to be part of a greater, wider ASEAN digital economy.
Now, DJ Zach, what else do you have for our YB?
Well, I just want to ask the YB this. Since today is our 77th anniversary, what's your message for RTM?
Happy birthday, RTM!
Yay!
Thank you.
You know, it's when you look back, 77 years. That's really a huge achievement. And I look forward to the next so many years. And
77.
to me, there's one thing that comes to mind. I was telling Dato' Sri KSU, who's right beside me just now, and also the rest of the RTM team, that Stan Lee, the Marvel comic founder,
the late
great Stan Lee, like his favorite expression is this Latin one, Excelsior.
Yes.
Upwards, right? So for RTM, Excelsior, upwards.
There we go.
Brings back memories.
Exactly. So with that ends our today's interview with our guest here today in the studio, our YB himself, Fahmi Fadzil, the Minister of Communications and Digital, and also to our friends from Sabah VFM, DJ Sonny B, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
thank you also.
And also DJ Zach from Red FM. Thank you very much, guys, for
no problem, dude.
coming to the studio as
Thank
well.
you, YB.
All right, so with regards to that as well, it's RTM's 77th anniversary, and just to acknowledge everybody here in the studio, we have our producer Alicia, who's paneling for the Facebook page. We have our station manager Puan Tan in the studio as well. Albert is also here. He's just making sure that I don't fumble up as well. We have also Encik Suhaimi Sulaiman. He is of course our Director General in the studios. We also have Datuk Sri Haji Muhammad Mente, the KSU for our ministry as well, and of course our very special guest and honored guest as well, YB Fahmi Fadzil. Thank you so much for coming to the studio, and for those who are actually live on our Facebook page, thank you so much for all the well wishes. Just like Lalita says, happy 77th anniversary RTM. Teman setia anda. We have Noraini Abdul, we have Ramajun Murthy, Patricia Lee, and all that, Doreen Paul Pasquale. Thank you so much for joining in the conversation as well and wishing us happy anniversary, and we will do our very best. And if it's not for you guys listening to us, supporting us all throughout these 77 years, RTM would not be where we are right now. So thank you so much, and to all warga RTM, selamat hari RTM ke-77.
You're listening to Trax FM's podcast. If you've enjoyed our content, more podcasts are available on the RTM Click app and website. Let us know what you think. Please email us at traxfm.rtm@gmail.com. Like and follow us on social media at Trax FM Official.